There's a part of San Jose where you can still buy a single family home with a yard and a driveway for around 1.5 million. On the west side of this valley, that same house runs over 2 million. And here's the part almost nobody is talking about. A light rail line is being built right now that will connect this exact pocket straight to BART. This is the east side, Evergreen, and it's about to change a lot more than people realize. Here's the belief most buyers carry about the east side of San Jose. It is the part you drive past on the way somewhere else. It's further out, fewer options, and not really on the map for people who work in tech. That's the old read, and it's about to be wrong, because the single biggest thing that moves home value over time is not the paint, it's not the staging, it's the access. It's who can get where and how fast without sitting in traffic. And East San Jose is finally getting a piece of access it's been promised more than 20 years ago. The Valley Transportation Authority, or VTA, is building a light rail extension up the middle of Capitol Expressway. More than $600 million, 2.5 miles, 2 new stations, ending at Eastridge Transit Center. As of this spring, it's about 65% built. When it opens, an Evergreen resident can ride the light rail and connect straight to BART at Milpitas. That is not a rumor anymore. That is under construction right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you through 6 changes coming to this pocket that most buyers, and frankly, most agents are not pricing in yet. Let me start with what makes this pocket worth watching in the first place. Space. In Evergreen, you can still buy a single family home with a real yard, a driveway, room for the dog on a normal sized lot. The recent median has been sitting around 1.4 to 1.5 million, and compare that to the west side, the names everyone defaults to, the Almaden, Willow Glen, Cupertino, Santa Clara, those run higher for the same size house. So you're looking at the same county, the same single family home lifestyle for a number that's hundreds of thousands of dollars lower. Sometimes that's even $1 million lower. For a first-time buyer or somebody relocating in the area, the east side is one of the last places in the valley where the math on a house with a yard still works. And the reason it stayed this affordable is not quality. It's that Evergreen has always felt a little out of the way, tucked up against the foothills, off the main freeway spine. That distance is exactly what kept the price down. And that distance is a thing that is about to change. Because the single thing that made Evergreen feel far is getting rebuilt in concrete right now. Living in Evergreen means you drive everywhere. It is a car-first pocket, and that has been the trade-off for the space and the price. That trade-off is what is changing. The light rail extension runs up the center of Capitol Expressway and ends at Eastridge. From Eastridge, you connect into the rest of the line, and up at Milpitas, you step onto BART. Once you're on BART, you have Fremont, Oakland, San Francisco, and with the BART extension coming into downtown San Jose and Santa Clara, the other side of the valley too. Think about what that does for a buyer. Today, an Evergreen address is a nice house, tough commute if you work up north. After this line opens, it's a nice house and you can leave your car and park and ride and take the train. Same house, completely different access story. That is the part that moves value. Not the granite, the on-ramp to the entire Bay Area transit system showing up 2.5 miles from your front door. For 50 years, Eastridge has been a mall. Over 1 million square feet, the anchor of the east side and the place everybody knows. Eastridge is becoming a transit hub on top of being a retail center. The Eastridge Transit Center is being rebuilt as the end of the new light rail line, with a bus rapid transit, a park and ride, and direct connections feeding right into it. The mall itself changed hands recently. It sold for $135 million, so there is a fresh ownership with reasons to invest in the property. When a spot becomes the place where the trains, the buses, and the cars all meet, It stops being somewhere you only drive to on a weekend. It becomes a center of gravity. Coffee, food, restaurants, bars, foot traffic, and homes within a few minutes of a real transit node tend to hold value differently than homes that are just near a parking lot. For a buyer, look at how close a home sits to that Eastridge Transit Center, because that proximity is going to mean more 5 years from now than it does today. Now here is a change that has nothing to do with trains, and it might be the one that pays you back the fastest. Let's go back to that yard from point 1. On the dense side of the valley, a lot of homes do not have one. Out here, a lot of them, they do. The California law has made that yard worth more than it used to be. The state has opened the door wide open on accessory dwelling units, a backyard unit, a converted garage, a second small home on the same lot. On Evergreen's larger lots, a lot of these properties are realistic candidates for one. Now you have to verify it property by property, setbacks, utilities, the specific lot, it all matters. So this is a check with a pro item, not a guarantee, but the potential is real. And here's why that lands harder on the east side than almost anywhere else. You are buying in at a lower price on a bigger lot in a spot that is about to get better access. Add a unit and you have a rental income, or a place for a family or a work from home setup that pays for itself. Those are the kind of options that the expensive Westside pockets simply cannot offer at this price. And the window to get in on all of this before it is obvious is open right now. Let me show you why. Here's the timing piece. The San Jose market did a reset. Not a crash, a reset. Across the east side, prices have been roughly flat and a little soft over the past year, and homes are taking a lot longer to sell than they did at the peak. But, and this is what matters, the good homes still get multiple offers. So this is not a fire sale, it's what I would call selective leverage. A prepared buyer has room to compare, to inspect, and negotiate on the right property in a way you could not do 2 or 3 years ago. Put it together. You have a reset that handed you negotiating room on a value pocket with a yard you can build on, in front of an access upgrade that has not fully shown up in prices yet. That combination does not sit still for long. Which brings me to the last change, and it is the one I would circle if you only remember one thing from this video. The light rail line is not a someday maybe. It is funded, it is under construction, and as of this spring is about 65% built. Current plans have it carrying passengers in 2029. Markets price in big infrastructure slowly and then all at once, usually right around the time it opens and everybody can suddenly see it. The buyers who do well are the ones who move while it still looks like a construction zone and a traffic headache, not after the ribbon gets cut. So the value pocket from point 1, the yard, the driveway, the number that's hundreds of thousands of dollars lower, that exists today partly because the access is not here yet. When the access lands, the main reason this pocket stayed cheap goes away. That is a change nobody is pricing in, and it is the whole reason I made this video. So here's the whole thing in one breath. Evergreen and the east side give you a single family home with a yard for a number the west side has not seen in years. A light rail line to BART is being built right now. Eastridge is turning into a real hub. Your lot might carry an ADU upside. The reset handed you room to negotiate, and almost none of that is priced in yet. If you're thinking about buying or selling in Silicon Valley, I help buyers and sellers all over this valley, from Los Altos to Gilroy, Campbell, everywhere in between. I have a great buyers and sellers guide available. If you just scan the QR code right here, I'll get that sent over to you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next one.